Hi, I'm Andy. Welcome to SW Ranch. Today, I think SW Ranch stands for sloppy and wet. Look at this mess. Dear Lord. It's awful. Awful. And it's supposed to freeze here in the next couple days. So I want to get most of this slop off the top of the clay in the barnyard, so the cows aren't having to walk over all those little lumps and clumps. I just don't feel like that's a great thing for a cow to be walking over. I got a feeling that it's not good for their feet, their legs, nothing. And I got one old cow up there that kind of needs as much help as I can give her. She's a good cow, and she's about to have a baby actually, and I'd like to make sure she's got a nice comfortable spot. So today we're going to scrape this up and make it a little cleaner. You can see where I did it there where Kip's walking. I did that the other day, and it's a whole lot better than it is up by the fence. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna bed up the barn. And I gotta feed the cows. I gotta put them out a couple bales, one for bedding and two for feed, or whatever I come up with. I'm thinking about hiring a dozer to scrape Mud Mountain down. That's what I'm gonna call it now instead of Hay Mountain, because it's just freaking wet. I had to move the brown bale ring because it was just, the cows were knee deep eating hay, and I don't like that. I like my cows to be high and dry and clean. I know that when it rains 52 days out of every month, that you aren't going to keep them very dry, but I try to do what I can do to make sure my cows are clean and happy. I know I don't like being all muddy. Never, actually. I don't like being muddy. I don't like being wet. I'd rather have the cold. So I'm going to get going on a few of these projects and see what I can get accomplished today. And maybe I'll get done more than I think, or maybe I'll get done less. We'll see. But thanks for joining us. All right, so that's working pretty well. I mean, this is the scratched up area. Don't get me wrong, there's still some wet spots. I'm not going to try to really fine tune it. Just going to make it so the cows are a lot more comfortable in here. And that should do the trick, I would think. It's got to be, I got to finish pushing up all the rest of that just because it's, man, there's a lot of it. There's just a lot of it. It's just wet everywhere. I mean, this is what it was. So it's definitely getting a whole lot better. Hopefully I can get it kind of cleaned up, neatened up before it freezes up. I think it's going to freeze tomorrow, I think. So this stuff will have a chance to lay down a little bit more, like where the high ridges are. And it should be able to clean it up pretty decently, I would hope. So I'm going to stick you on the bucket and really let you get a nice view of how wet that is. Because it is really some wet, nasty stuff. But like I say, we've had so much rain this last month. It's just been unbelievable. So let's get you on the bucket. You can see all the wonderfulness in front of me being pushed out of the way. And look at my tractor. Oh, it's filthy. Oh, she's gonna need a bath. All right, so that really went pretty well. I mean, it's still a muddy mess. Look at them stupid dogs. Hey, 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 no. Freaking blue heelers. But they don't mind this mud at all. Look at them. Look at them. What are you two doing? Oh, you know you're gonna have to get a bath before you go inside, and it's cold water. Silly dogs. But anyways, it worked pretty well. So, I mean, I'm gonna wait for it to freeze up a little bit because I think I'll be able to move like these ridge better. I think I'll be able to move them better because right now I'm just kind of chasing them around, and it's just kind of making it's making a mess, but it's a whole lot better than it was. I mean, it's pretty clean. You know, Tanisha says to me one time, she says, "Why are you gonna get a yellow lab? She's gonna be dirty." Well, there's a blue heeler that's black and she's dirty too, so I can just see it on the blonde dog better. And then can't wait to show you Kaya getting her bath because her teeth start chattering and everything else. Stupid dogs. But so I think that worked pretty well. I'm happy with the turnout. It could be a little bit better, but I think once it freezes up, it will be better. But right now, the cows can get around pretty well in most areas, so I think they'll be happy.
let's get him some bales, and I got to scrape out the bucket because the bucket's got a bunch of mud and poop in it, so I got to scrape that out so I can put my bale spear back on. And we'll give him some bales, and we'll bed up the barn because all that kind of stuff needs to be done today. So stick in there, we'll get her done.
Okay, so you saw the dogs running around out in the mud, poop, slop, whatever you want to call it. And for some reason, Mom doesn't want them come in the house when they're all that dirty. I don't know why, but seems like it'd be fine. Just a little mud, maybe some poop in the house. What the hell, right? So I'm gonna give them a bath real quick, and I'll show you how much Kaya loves it. Kaya, come here. Kip, you first. Come here. Over here. Come on. I know it's cold. Come here. That's my kid. Stay. Good girl. Turn. Good girl. Hold on. I know, I'm hurrying. You got a lot in it. Hey, come here. Come on, you're not done. Come here. Come here. I gotta come closer. Come on. Good girl. Okay, gotta turn again. Good girl. Good girl. Go ahead. Go ahead. Kaya, come here. Come here. Good girl, Kaya. Come here. Head. You get really dirty. I'd leave you inside, but I know you'd have a fit. Stop. Hey, hey. Good. Good girl. Go ahead. They take it pretty well. I don't think you'd get me to stand there that long. Obviously, they aren't huge fans of it, but they'll do it, and they'll run right back out there this afternoon and play in the mud. Seems like they'd figure it out, but I guess they're not as smart as I think they are. What do you think, Kip? Huh? What do you think? Yeah. Let's go inside. Let's get some lunch. This part of it, they both kind of like. You like getting your face straight up. You like getting straight up, don't you, Kaya, huh? Oh, yeah, just go, girl. That's all, girl. Yep. Get you straight up a little bit here. Oh, that's good stuff, Kaya, huh? That's good stuff. Okay, go. Get you. Come here. Alright, go on. Then you got my robot. Yep, she just sits right here. Takes it. Tries to lick me the whole time. She's a good girl. I was a big pain in the butt. Kaya, would you go away? Go away. Go away. Okay, go ahead, girl. Come on. Get out of here. Come on, get upstairs. Shh. Quiet. Go on, get inside. It has begun. The dreaded freeze. So yesterday I wasn't able to finish everything I wanted to finish because I got pulled away. Had other stuff that had to be handled. But I gave the cows a bale so they weren't hungry or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of hay out here, so they can't be very hungry, but they always seem to think that they need something different. Cows are kind of an ungrateful animal. I'm surprised they're not mooing at me now, but they look pretty relaxed. But here's the ground now. It's a whole lot better. Some of these high ridges, cows should be able to get over them pretty good, I would think. I mean, they're not very big. Dogs are running around all over, not getting even their feet dirty, so that's really good. So that makes me pretty happy. So today we're just gonna get I gotta bed up that barn because Harriet's gonna be having a calf here shortly, and I want to make sure that she's nice and clean and dry.
I don't like it. I don't like the calves being outside this time of year, so we'll leave them in the barn for a couple days, at least till he or she gets his legs, and then we'll stick them back out. Harriet don't mind being in the barn anyways. That means she gets her own grain, doesn't have to jockey around for more. She enjoys it, and the barn's pretty accommodating for her. So, okay, I'm gonna go get the tractor, grab a bale. We'll get these cows fed and bed up.
It's pretty cold today, so we're gonna let the old 706 warm up a little bit, just because the hydraulics are always cold, and it's always good to let an old tractor warm up. I know me, myself, and I can't jump right up and do 55 jumping jacks. Hell, even when I am warmed up, I can't do 55 jumping jacks. That's for school kids and shit. But so we're gonna fire the old 706 up, get her warmed up, give her a few minutes, and we'll get her going, get her to work. Key on, throttle over, choke out, push the button. Oh, oh. Oh yeah. Ready to rip. We'll give her a few minutes to warm up. It's pretty cold up here right now, so it's kind of nice. Everything's froze up, dried up. This is the kind of weather I like. Froze and no snow, so I don't have to go snowplow. So I've owned this International 706 for almost 2 years now. And the problem I've always had with it when it gets cold is the brake on the passenger side, when it gets cold, seems to freeze up. Now normally all I have to do is just bump it forward a little bit and she'll break free, but I'm really worried something's gonna break in there. So if anybody has any suggestions on what to do and how to fix it correctly so I don't have that problem anymore, I'd really appreciate some input on it. I don't know a whole lot about these tractors, so I could really use some help with this. Thanks a lot. Leave me a comment. So the cows use the barn quite a bit. They come in here and just hang out when it's crappy or whatever, but mostly they just come in. I got their minerals over here because when you leave them sit outside, they just turn into a freaking mess out there in the dirt, and then they poop all over it and it dissolves with the rain. So we like to keep it in here as much as we can, keep it high and dry, make it so the cows got a clean spot to come in and get their minerals. So we're just gonna take the outer layers of this bale. You know, we'll heavy bed, so we'll probably use about that much of the bale. But we're gonna put it in here and spread it out. Like I say, kind of get it ready for Harriet to have her baby. She's supposed to have it, I don't know, like the 21st of January, but usually she's earlier. Usually she's about 9 days. But we'll see. Hopefully it's not too cold out, because their little ears can freeze and it's just not good for them to be out in that. You know, if you can't catch them, let's say they have it in the middle of the night and you don't catch them, they shouldn't be sitting outside in that cold, all wet and everything. So I like to be able to, you know, a couple days in advance, I'll put Harriet inside if I can catch her in time, and she'll come in the barn, no problem. They don't mind coming in here. I usually give them some grain when they come in, give them a little bit of a treat, get them used to it, because this is also our handling facility. You know, we run them down into the headlock and do what we have to do to them. So sometimes I sent the bull to go be a boyfriend to another herd this summer, and boy, when he came back, he remembered that when he got put in this barn that he went somewhere else, and for about 3 weeks you couldn't get that guy back in this barn. But now he comes back in, you know, give him a little bit of grain, and I didn't have to put him in, but I like to get him accommodated back to everything. So it's kind of nice to be able to give him a little bit, bring the grain trough in here and just give him a little bit of grain, get him a little used to it again, so next time when I need to do something with him or the rest of the herd, it's easy to do it. So we just do it every now and then to make them trust us, and then we fool them and put them in the headlock. So let's get this bedded up. I got a bunch of stuff to do today with the wife for New Year's, so we'll get this all bedded up. Watch out, Kangaroo. Man, I wish you had thumbs. You'd be so helpful. You'd help me, wouldn't you, Kip, huh? You'd help me do anything, wouldn't you, huh? You're just a good dog. Yes, you are. You're just a good dog. Watch out. I don't know if we've talked about it before, but I used to use white netting on my bales, and I switched to this black netting. Well, that white netting was thicker, you know, like these strands are wire thin, and that white had a little bit of a thicker of a band. And I didn't think I was gonna like this black netting, but it makes twice the bale. For some reason, it seems to tighten the bale up nice, and this stuff is so easy to get off when it's cold. It just peels right off, where the white stuff, you had to dig it all out, and then usually you end up having to leave a couple feet of it out there on the bale, and then you had to try to dig it out of the hay ring when you got done, when the cows ate around it. And I was always worried about the cows getting it in their belly because it can make them sick. But this stuff right here, a little more expensive, not as much on a roll, but boy, it sure does work good. I'm not going to say that's what I'm going to use from now on because of the price difference in the amount of it, but right now that's probably what I'm going to do, because this stuff is a whole lot easier to work with than that white stuff. It's just a superior product in my eyes. I like it. I wish I had a spot to put it inside, the hay inside, so because it doesn't seem to protect the bale as well as the white stuff does. But I mean, it does a pretty good job. This is definitely my choice for next year, as long as the price stays fair. We'll see. What you doing, Kaya? Huh? Oh, baby. Oh, baby, it's just froze. There we go. We're getting a hole in there now. We're getting a hole in there now. Watch out. Now the cows don't only come in here to just lay on this bedding. They'll also come in here and eat the hay up. I've often thought about just putting a bale in the bottom, in the middle, and letting them hay bomb it, you know, because they'll devour a bale and knock it all around and lay on it everywhere. Cows do an awful good job of wasting hay. They'll pull it out of the hay ring out there and almost spread it around the hay ring so they can lay on it. Drives me crazy, but they know what they're doing, I guess. Must be if they dragged it out of there. That wasn't the best of the best. That's kind of my theory, anyway. Yeah. I'm not much of a glove wearing guy. Like, I'll go ice fishing without gloves on. But today, that fork is cold for some reason. Whew, my hand's frozen. Wow. There, that ought to make a nice little bedding pack for them. Come in, get warmed up a little bit. I don't think the cows get very cold. They got a nice coat on them, and I'm winded. Where's Blake? He should be doing this stuff. But that's okay, I like doing it. So all we do, hold on. So when our cows are getting ready to have calves, we just take this gate and swing it off over to the beam. That allows us to have a small little maternity pen for them. Chain it to the beam there. I don't know, it gives them like, I think it's, well, that's a 12-foot gate. So I must give them a 12 by 12 area to just get away from the rest of the herd. Not like, it's not like the rest of the herd gives them a hard time, but it's nice to be able to have some mom and baby time. I don't think it's a big deal to just leave them out in the herd because they're all good cows out there. It kind of amazes me how good the cows are with the little calves. You'll see a little calf laying right around the bale ring and all the big cows eating right around them. And, you know, luckily, knock on wood, we haven't had any injuries with legs and stuff like that. So you know that that 1,500-pound cow or 1,200-pound cow is really cautious about the little guys. I think the whole herd does a good job of being aware of the little guys and taking care of them. I like the cows. They're good cows. I enjoy them a lot. There's a lot to them, and so far there ain't a whole lot of money. But I don't think you ever heard anybody say, "Hey, I'm going to be a farmer. I'm going to become rich." I don't think those words were ever spoken. I think there's got to be a love in your heart for wanting to do it and take care of animals, and I do. I enjoy it a lot. And we used to have a dairy farm, one of the bigger ones in Jefferson County, and we used to milk, I think we were at like 362 cows that we were milking, which back then was a lot of cows for this area. And it was all family run. We had a couple employees, but I enjoyed it. But I don't think I'd ever get back into dairy farming. I just don't want the 2 times, 3 times a day commitment, where the cattle, the beef cows, I could just come out. I check on them in the morning, do the morning chores, make sure they got hay, walk through them in the morning just to check on them, make sure everybody's doing all right, make sure nothing obvious is wrong with them. And then at night, I come out and do the same thing, give them a little shot of grain so they all come up to the trough where I can really take a walk around and look at them. But with dairy farming, you're married to it. And I just, at this point, because you never know what the heck I'm going to do, at this point, I don't think I'm ever going to become a dairy farmer, like 99.999999999%. So I kind of like my beef. It's pretty nice. I enjoy this little quote-unquote homesteading that we're doing. We're not quite to the homesteading part, but we're getting there. I might buy a dairy cow because I would like to have 1 or 2 maybe even, just to milk for myself and my family. Who knows? I got so many ideas and thoughts running through my head. 3/4 of the time I confuse myself. So I don't want to confuse you guys too much because there only needs to be one of us confused at this point. I got it. Don't worry. I'll take that burden. So seems and how it's December 31st, I thought to myself, why not give the cows a little bit of a treat for the New Year's? So I gave them this nice second cutting bale. That's a really good looking bale. Cows must be they're all full because Harriet's the only one over here eating. That's my big girl that's going to have a baby here soon. I don't think it's going to be tonight. I guess we'll find out, but she's not due to like the 21st, but I bumped her belly the other day and there's a big calf in there. So it's anytime between now and January 21st. We aren't, like I said before, we don't really keep a schedule on them. Keep an eye on them, look for the bags to bag up and go from there. There's a few telltale signs of when a cow's gonna have a calf, and you can get it pretty close. So a couple days when we start seeing some of the signs, I'll put her in the barn and she can be happy in there. But this year has been pretty spectacular on the YouTube front. I mean, I'm growing slowly but surely. I'm really happy, and I'm really appreciative of all the
subscribers and the views and the likes and the comments. Keep them coming. Tell me what you want to see on the channel. I'll make it happen. I mean, to an extent. I'm not going to walk around in my Daisy Dukes or nothing. You'd probably be pretty disappointed, but but keep the likes and comments coming. I really appreciate you viewing what I'm doing. There's quite a few big things coming. We've bought some property that we've had our eye on, 120 acres of property up in Cape Vincent, and we're going to clear some of that property off. And we got some farm programs that we're putting it into to make it a better property for the farm and the cows. And we're going to be putting the cows up on there in the spring, building fence, clearing trees. A bunch of undergrowth has got to be cleared up. Just a lot of projects up there, not to mention, you know, haying season and calving season and all the good stuff. So there'll be a lot of cool videos come the new year once it warms up a little bit. We'll actually probably do a little bit this winter. You know, we'll go up and cut some trees out of that new property, make it kind of get a jump on it so we can get it ready for hay season. But I really appreciate you joining me on my adventure on SW Ranch. Have a happy and safe new year, and make all your resolutions come true. Thanks a lot.